Hi, everyone. I want to share with you a restorative pose today. So I want to share with you a pose called the supported bound angle pose. And this pose is really beautiful, and it's one of my favorite restorative poses. And it helps to maintain a healthy spine. It helps to open up your back, but also gently stretches your chest, your shoulders, and your inner thighs, opens up the front of the hips. And so this pose is especially nice for those of us who may spend a long time in a seated position. Those of us who tend to have this tendency to slouch. This is a great pose to counteract all of the sitting and slouching that we might do. But also it can be a very calming pose. It helps you to come to a place of calm, and it's very restorative. Helps you to feel more energized and brings more mental clarity. And this pose also, if you're interested in the energy system, it works to balance out the first 4 chakras. So this includes your root chakra, your sacral chakra, your solar plexus, and your heart chakra. So with that, I'd love to demonstrate and show you how to enjoy this pose. So there are a couple of ways to set up in this pose. What you're going to need, ideally, are 2 yoga blocks or anything that's around the same size and sturdiness. But if you don't have blocks, extra rolled up towels or blankets could also work. And I'll show you how to use them in just a moment. You'll need a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, if you can find a large firm pillow or even 2 pillows together, that could work in place of a bolster. And if you really don't have something like this, we can also make a bolster using 2 blankets, and I can show you how to do that in just a moment. But if you have a bolster, that's great, and have 2 to 3 extra blankets with you. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple of ways to set up in this pose depending on what you have and how you feel. So option 1 is if you have a bolster with you, you're going to set the bolster up vertically along your mat, and you can bring 1 blanket and you can fold it up, and it becomes a bit of a pillow. Let me fold it up a little better here. It can be a little pillow here, and you can change the thickness depending on how thick you want this, your pillow to be, and that could be at one end. And then you're going to have 2 blocks, or like I said, if you don't have blocks, you might wrap blankets that you can roll up so that they can be cushioning, and I'll show you why we need these cushioning in just a moment. So I'll put that aside. So if you have blocks, you can use blocks. To set up in this pose, you're going to sit right up against the bolster. So we're not on the bolster, we're just sitting right up against the bolster. And then from here, you're going to bring your blocks on either side of yourself and slowly and gently lower yourself down onto the bolster. And then you have your blanket here, and you can adjust it as a pillow. You're going to bend the knees. Bring the soles of the feet together and allow your knees to open out to the sides. And this is where the blocks will come in. And they're going to be there to support you so that you have your legs can completely relax here as the blocks support you in this position. And again, if you don't have blocks, you might have rolled up blankets or towels instead so that they can support you in this way. You can bring your arms alongside your body, palms facing up. Now your feet can be closer towards you, or they can be also further away from you. So you want to come to a position where it feels good, where you're able to relax. In a restorative pose, we're not seeking sensation here. looking for ways to relax. So you want to be in a position where you're able to do so. So this is the setup for option 1. And option 2, what you might do instead is, if you don't want to be so close to the ground, or you want to be more in a reclined position, you can use these blocks to help prop up your bolster. So you can have a block at a higher setting, and then one at a medium or lower setting, depending on how you like it. And you're going to bring your pillow or bolster on top and just make sure it's sturdy. And then again, you might bring a blanket on the top to be your pillow. And here, you might need some extra props if you're going to set up this way, because your body is higher up off the ground. So you might want to have a couple of extra rolled up blankets on either side of you as armrests. And you might need an extra set of blocks or rolled up blankets to support your legs as they open out to the side. And so here, let me show you how to get into this pose. Very similar to what we did just before. You're going to sit up right up against the end of the bolster. And then just gently lower yourself down. Adjust the pillow. Bring the soles of the feet together. And again, you might bring your support, either rolled up blanket or blocks, underneath the legs so you can allow the legs to relax. And you're going to have your arms by your side. And again, you might feel pretty good here and you may not need anything else. But if you feel like this is too much, you're feeling a lot in the chest, in the shoulder area, then you might want to have 2 extra blankets, one on each side. And I'll just show you on this side so that you can create a bit of an armrest for your arms. So again, it depends on what you have at home. Like I said, I'll encourage you to bring some blocks underneath the legs for this pose, and you might need extra blankets for armrests if you're in this slightly reclined position. And then I want to show you one last option for this pose if you don't have a lot of props. So if you don't have a pillow or a bolster, we can make our own bolster with 2 blankets. So you're going to have 2 blankets. Here I have Mexican blankets, so you might have to see what you have at home and find something that's similar size and thickness to this, so that we're going to end up making something that's similar in size and thickness. But if you don't have Mexican blankets, that's okay too. See what you have and you can play around with it and figure out what feels good as you get into the pose, whether you need only 1 blanket or you might need an extra one depending on the thickness. So I have 2 blankets folded in half and I've stacked one over the other. And then from here, my body is not that long, so I can start on the short end. And I'm just going to roll the blankets up together to create a bolster, or you might fold it. So depending on how thick you want it, this is where you're going to experiment a little bit and see whether you want to roll it up into a really tight roll or you want to fold it up. So it's a little bit flatter, but it's also a little bit wider as well. So then from here, you have your makeshift bolster with 2 blankets. And again, just like before, you're going to set up by sitting right up against this roll. You have your bolster on either side. And if you have an extra blanket that you want to put across to be your pillow, you can certainly do that. So you might fold up another blanket and put it across, and this could be your pillow. And then slowly allowing, make sure your blocks are within reach. Lower yourself down, adjust the pillow, and then adjust the block so that your legs are supported. And then from here, arms can come down by your sides, palms facing up. And just allowing your body to gradually settle in. And just noticing if there are any areas that may feel a little bit uncomfortable. If there are any adjustments that you want to make here, you can certainly make any little adjustments. You can, again, maybe pull your legs closer to your body or further away. You might bring your blocks higher up or lower down. Just making sure that you are really comfortable where you are, so that your body can begin to settle into stillness and gradually into relaxation. Really give yourself time to settle in this pose. Allow the body to gently melt over the props. And again, we're not seeking sensations when we're in a restorative pose. We're seeing whether we can gradually allow any tension to release so that you can settle a little bit more comfortably and more able to relax. And really getting into the more subtle layers of the muscles, your postural muscles, where you might have, that kind of helps you to take on certain shapes as you sit. We're gently countering those tendencies. You can allow your breath to become your focus if you find that you have a busy mind. And just gradually allowing the body to release and relax a little deeper. And you can stay in this pose anywhere between 5 to 10 or even 20 minutes if it feels good to be here. So take as much time as you need in this pose. And if you want to pause the video, please do. And whenever you're ready to come out of the pose, you can press play again. And whenever you feel ready, we're going to slowly help ourselves out of this pose. So you might use your hands to gently draw the knees together. You can step the feet down to the ground. You can gently remove any blocks that are maybe in your way. And then you can roll over to one side. So if you're slightly reclined, you might want to make sure you have your arm there to help you, to support you as you slowly press yourself back up to sit. Just take a moment here in your seated position. It's allowing yourself to reorient to where you are and gently allow your body to reawaken, allow your mind to wake up. Hope you enjoyed this pose. I'll see you back real soon. Take care now.